Hey, hello everybody. In this video I'd like to compare the Joker Ember to the Joker Bushlore because it's both knives are very popular and there are some differences. They produce a lot of decent knives and there are a lot of varieties between the Bushlore and the Joker Ember. There's a lot to choose from. So let's have a closer look at these two knives and just see what they're all about. Alright. About the sheaths, now every knife from Joker comes with a very decent sheath. There are some varieties. This one is from the Bushlore, this one is from the Ember. I got this one with a fire steel, but you can see that they are very similar. Okay. Never mind, the birds. Alright, so very similar. You see the stitching, double stitching here, really thick leather. And yeah, they have a little bit, the grommets here, they are a little bit different. This one I did with a fire steel, this one I got without the fire steel. And when it comes to the danglers, they usually have sort of a double system. You can use it on your belt, of course, with this leather piece here. And of course they have danglers. And in this case the dangler is with snappers and you can remove that. This is from the Ember, and this one from the Bushlore is actually with a sort of carabiner that you just can open up and then you can remove altogether, which is a nice feature. Basically, and it also has a snapper. Yeah, almost forgot to mention that. Also, it has the snapper function. But I've seen different varieties going around. So whatever. But the sheaths are very decent, no matter which one you choose. Let's talk about the knives. So here I have the two knives. The Joker Ember, I already did a test with this one with other knives, comparing it. It already came out as a really nice knife. The handle is fantastic, 14C28 steel, a really nice Scandi, and it is really one of my favorite knives to use because it's so good, the handle is nice and the steel is pretty decent. And this is the Bushlore from Joker, which is almost identical copy to the Lars Feld knife from Castrum. So if you have that knife, then it is really similar, and this is Sleipner steel. All the other Joker knives are in 14C28, this one is in Sleipner. So the Joker Ember knife is about 4 inch and Bushlore about 4.5 inch. And so that is, I think, the biggest difference to start with. And the Joker Ember, of course, has a few survival features. It is marketed as a survival bushcraft knife. So it has a pommel with sort of like a glass breaking thingy that you can use for scraping and what have you. And it has quite a protruding ricasso. That is quite pointy, but it gives you a little bit of a sort of a finger guard here, and of course then the cutting edge starts from that point on. A little bit of a drop point, about 3.7 millimeters, I believe, thickness. I will put a diagram at the end with all the specs, so don't pin me on the specs. The Bushlore, of course, is a little bit longer, about 4.5 inch, and you can see that the ricasso here, it starts right at the handle, of course, for momentum with push cuts, and it doesn't have a protruding pommel. Now, of course, the ricasso here is quite protruding. Now, the funny thing is, if you like the Joker Ember and you don't want the backside here, the pommel, you can take the Joker Nordico, because that is the same knife but without the protruding part here. And if you want another ricasso as well as no protruding end, I think you can use the Trampero, I believe it's called, and then the knife, the cutting edge starts almost close to the handle as well, and it has a little gap here. I think it helps with sharpening. So you have options for this type of knife in this length, about that 4.1 inch. And of course, if you want to go longer, you get to the Bushlore, which has all the things you might want in a bushcraft knife and is a little bit longer, which of course is handy with batoning. Yeah, all right. Now, when it comes to the handle of the Bushlore is a little thicker. is a little bit more swell, where the Joker Ember is a little leaner in terms of the handle. I don't know which one is more comfortable. I think they're both great, but if you have bigger hands, then the Bushlore would definitely be your preference. You also have the bushcraft and the bushcrafter, which are basically different knives, more like the Ember with flat grinds and stuff like that. But there is such a big lineup that you really have to go through them to find the knife that you like. And of course different handles, curly birch, walnut, olive, etc, etc. Alright, so let's just do one little test here before we go, and that is the fire steel, just to see if they throw sparks. Basically we already know that, but let's do it anyway. So I have to clean it a little bit. So the Joker Ember, I have to go like this. Oh, my shoe's on fire. Alright, so the Ember will definitely throw sparks. Let's do the... Yeah, very, very easy. Yeah, effortless. Alright, so they both throw sparks really well. But just so, you know, just for the idea that Joker Ember just, I mean, it wants to cut really nice. It's really smooth as well, the 14C28. And remember, I've already owned this knife for a couple of years. So I've touched it up a few times, stropped it. But it's still going strong. That 14C28 steel, you know, works like a charm. Alright, so in really dry wood, let's see if I can do a notch. Yeah, I mean, it's just great. Great knife to use. And that 4-inch blade is fantastic. You can do some push cuts here with the top, really controlled. You know, that's the beauty of these blades. They give you a lot of cutting possibilities. A little bit chopping. Okay, well, that was easy. All right, so just for an idea, all right, yeah, the wood is a little bit thicker now, and a notch there. But it goes like crazy. So this is Sleipner steel. Yeah. Well, nice. Yeah, I would say really nice carver as well. Let's make a notch. So a little bit more steel, meaning a little bit better for batoning and stuff. You got a little bit more. Oh, this is gonna be a little bit rougher. But really dry wood, maybe a little bit of chopping. Now this knife is a little bit heavier than the Ember, and you feel that right away. Ooh, not the nicest. Well, it chops. Almost through, I guess. Yeah, alright. Alright, so that was just a little bit of an impression. I'll see if I can do a little bit of batoning, but I'll do that at home, not here, because I don't have the wood. I have two sort of similar pieces, and let's start with this piece. and we'll start with the Joker Ember. All right, just let's put it here. All right. Ooh, that is tough. Oh, it was already split. All right, another piece maybe like so. Yeah, it'll work. One more for good measure. Okay, yeah, very nice. Okay, one little piece here. Okay, so Joker Ember, fine. Let's continue with the Joker Bushlore. All right, let's take off a piece to begin. Maybe like so. All right, let's do this. Oh, yeah. So I can tell you straight away that the thicker blade of the Bushlore makes it an easier batoner. Alright, I would say with batoning, the Bushlore definitely more easy and just flies through. But the Joker Ember can baton. It's more a whittling knife, of course, more all round, but it can baton. Okay, let's make some feather sticks. Okay, so let's try a feather stick. This is the Joker Bushlore, and let's just see what it can do. It's a little bit looking for the right angle, but as far as I can tell, it definitely wants to make curls. Yeah, it'll do. I mean, I'm not the best feather sticker, but I think with a little practice, yeah, fine. Yeah, alright, let's do the Joker Ember. Let's just take the other side of the knife, of the wood I mean. Alright, oh yeah. I can tell you right from the go, this wants to do thinner slices. It goes easier. I mean, it's the same piece of wood, but it just is easier to find the angle, and yeah. Yeah. Joker Ember, so Bushlore Ember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. In conclusion, the Joker Ember is a very popular bushcraft knife, and I must say it is a really good knife. The steel 14C28 is fantastic, the 4-inch blade, just the right size. It's a really nice all-round camping, bushcrafting knife, and it has basically everything you need. A good handle, good steel, and a decent edge retention. The Bushlore, I think, yeah, it is a better bushcraft knife. It's a little bit longer, it's a little bit beefier, so for the rougher work I think the Bushlore is a better knife. But for all-round camping purposes and light whittling and stuff, I would say the Joker Ember is pretty decent and probably the better knife for you. Yeah, so the Bushlore a little bit more bushcraft, and the Joker Ember more a little bit all-round. But when it comes to the finer cutting, the Joker Ember actually performs a little bit better, and I guess when it comes down to chopping and rougher work, I think the Bushlore is the better choice. Yeah, alright, thanks for watching and see you next time.